Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Once again, we are here for our huling bulong question and answers. I would like to say that I gave my best to create this video to help those students who always want to widen their scope of knowledge. Again, I am Stafford Gatana and I recently passed the board exam with a rating of 91% from the new TOS. So guys, you need this and you must finish this video. Okay? Pag sinasabi kong huwag kakalimutan, huwag ninyong kakalimutan. Pag nagbibigay ako ng emphasis, please makinig. Okay? So this is it na. Malapit na. The board exam is waving, so you must give it your best shot. Okay? Nurses, I believe in you. You will pass and top the board exam. So guys, huwag na nating patagalin. I know you are now ready for your board exam, but this is for you. Let's go! Causative agent of hepatitis B. The causative agent of hepatitis B is virus. Actually, mapa-hepa A, B, C, D, or hepa E man yan, the answer will still be virus. Sa exam, nagtatanong sila kung ano ang mga causative agent ng mga sakit. So, kailangan ninyong i-memorize ang mga to. Okay? Alam kong madami, pero nurses, tuturuan ko kayo kung paano i-memorize ang lahat ng to and i-recall kahit nakapikit. Okay? So, this is how I memorize all of this before ako nag-take ng exam. So, let's sing. Typhoid, TB, lepro, leptopertussis, and pneumonia, cholera, diphtheria, syphilis, tetanus, botulism, scarlet, rheumatic fever, HIV, rabies, dengue, measles, polio, parvovirus, parasite, scabies, helminths, cysto, malaria, filar. So, ganyan, okay? Again, para makuha ninyo, medyo bilisan lang natin. Typhoid, TB, lepro, leptopertussis, and pneumonia, cholera, diphtheria, syphilis, tetanus, botulism, scarlet, rheumatic fever, HIV, rabies, dengue, measles, polio, parvovirus, parasite, scabies, helminths, cysto, malaria, filar. Okay. So guys, ulit-ulitin nyo lang para ma-memorize ninyo, baka effective din sa inyo. I hope na makatulong. Okay? Pag-usapan naman natin ang pertussis kasi this is very common and I think merong outbreak na nangyari kung hindi ako nagkakamali is last year. So possible na lumabas ulit sa exam. So let us start. Pertussis is also known as whooping cough po, okay? And it is the pathognomonic. What is the causative agent of pertussis? Our answer here is Bordetella and it is a type of bacteria. Next, what is the stage if there is whooping cough or severe coughing fits? Pag tinanong anong stage, our answer will be paroxysmal stage. Ito na po yung stage na pinakamalala because paroxysmal itself, ibig sabihin burst of symptoms. How about kung mild cough and runny nose? Anong stage naman yan? Mild cough and runny nose is under early stage kasi hindi pa masyadong malala, okay? What is the most infectious stage of pertussis? Sagot, early stage or catarrhal stage. Bakit kaya sa early stage siya pinaka-contagious? Tandaan lang natin, yung mode of transmission niya is droplet. Kung saan siya merong runny nose, dun siya pinaka-nakakahawa. Therefore, most contagious stage, again, is on the early stage. Okay? Next. Next naman, sa mode of transmission, nasabi na natin to, droplet. Ano naman ang primary prevention? Our answer here is immunization. Actually, kahit sa mga ibang diseases, basta kabilang sa vaccine-preventable diseases at tinanong kung ano ang mga prevention, kung ano ang primary prevention, sagot is immunization. Halimbawa, ano ang primary prevention of measles? Sagot, immunization. Okay? Primary prevention of polio, sagot, immunization pa din. Ganon daw po. Okay? That is for pertussis. Let's go to a sample question. Not early sign of pertussis daw. So, I am giving emphasis about sa stages ng pertussis kasi dapat na alam ninyo. Pag tinanong which is not an early sign of pertussis, ang sagot is severe coughing fits or also known as whooping cough kasi it is under paroxysmal na yon. Sorry. Or pwede din nilang ilagay na cough that gradually improves kasi nasa recovery stage din yon. Okay? Ang importante is alam na alam ninyo yung mga stages para kahit anong batong question sa inyo, hindi kayo malilito. So again, meron tayong 3 stages of pertussis. First is the early stage or catarrhal stage, which is yung cold-like symptoms pa lang siya like runny nose and cough. Next naman is sa paroxysmal stage. Dito na yung pathognomonic niya which is the whooping sound or yung severe coughing fits. And lastly is the convalescent stage. Yun na yung sa recovery, wherein the cough gradually improves. Wag na wag ninyong kakalimutan to, guys. I'm telling you. Okay? Next, punta naman tayo sa scabies. What is the causative agent? The causative agent is Sarcoptes and it is a mite. Big word. it is a mite. Okay? Huwag ninyong kakalimutan yan. Mode of transmission naman, since it is a mite, pwedeng direct or pwede ding indirect skin-to-skin contact. How about sa symptoms? Ano yung mga symptoms? Most common na nire-report na symptoms is intense itching, especially at night. Okay? Again, intense itching, especially at night. Meron ding papillary rash, burrows that appear as thin, wavy lines. Okay? Don't forget that. Ano naman sa treatment? So sa treatment is topical scabicides like permethrin. Okay? Isa pang tanong, paano daw gumamit ng topical scabicides like permethrin lotion? Paano? Dapat pag naglalagay daw ng lotion, it must be all over the body, hindi lang sa part na makate. Okay? Again, pag naglo-lotion, dapat all over the body and hindi lang sa part na makate. Common board exam concept. Let's go naman sa prevention. Sa prevention, we must treat all close contacts simultaneously. Wash clothing or bedding in hot water. Okay? Nilagyan ko na ng emphasis yung simultaneously kasi importante yun. Huwag ninyong kakalimutan, dapat sabay-sabay daw ang gamutan para totally na mawala yung sakit. Kasi kung hindi sabay-sabay, the disease will keep on recurring. Okay? So that's it for scabies. I'm telling you, yan po lahat ang kailangan ninyong malaman sa scabies. Next, let's go naman sa rabies. Ito yung 100% virulent or deadly pero 100% din na preventable. Yan po ang rabies. Okay, so other term ng rabies is hydrophobia. Minsan, they term it also as Lisa. How can you get the virus? Of course, through saliva. What is the initial action if there is a dog bite? First action, dapat hugasan yung sugat with soap in running water for at least 15 minutes. Okay? Again, first, dapat hugasan yung sugat with soap in running water for at least 15 minutes. Next, sabi dito, single case of rabies was reported in a community where the disease is not usually found. A, endemic. B, sporadic. C, pandemic. D, all of the above. Anong sagot natin dito? Our answer here is sporadic. Tandaan nyo yan. Okay? Next. Okay, let's proceed sa TB naman. What is the causative agent of TB? Sagot, Mycobacterium. Sorry, excuse me. Mode of transmission naman is airborne droplets and it spreads through coughing, sneezing, talking, or singing. Let's go naman sa clinical manifestations. Meron tayong tinatawag na cardinal symptoms of TB which are the chronic cough more than 3 weeks, weight loss, fever, and yung pinakasikat is night sweats and yung hemoptysis or coughing up blood. Okay? Yan po ang mga clinical manifestations of TB. Next, ano naman ang gold standard for diagnosing TB? Naging debatable ang question na ito kung ano ba talaga ang sagot. But the specific answer for this is sputum culture pa din. Pero pag nakita ninyo sa tanong, what is the gold standard for rapid? What is the gold standard for rapid diagnosis of TB? The answer will be gene expert. I hope na nakuha ninyo. Okay? Next question. Ano naman daw ang gamit ng chest x-ray? Okay, so chest x-ray is used to detect lesions sa lungs, particularly in the upper lobes. Again, chest x-ray is used to detect lesions sa lungs. When to check the induration sa tuberculin test or Manto test? Sagot, after 48 to 72 hours po. Okay? Again, 48 to 72 hours. Next, ano naman ang vaccine to prevent tuberculosis? Alam na alam nyo to. Sagot, BCG. Okay? Next. Let's go sa TB meds. Importanteng alam niyo ang mga side effects. Halimbawa kasi ng tanong, the patient is taking rifampicin. You notice that the patient's urine is orange in color. Ano daw ang gagawin mo? Report or document? So, let's see. Ano ba ang side effect ng rifampicin kasi? Our answer here is red-orange discoloration of body fluids including urine, sweat, laway, and tears. So sa tanong, pag may ganyan ang patient, will you report or just document? Of course, ida-document mo lang because it is normal and expected and it is harmless side effect of the medication. Okay? Next, how about sa isoniazid? We should watch out for peripheral neuropathy. Tanong, kung nakita mo daw yung patient who is taking isoniazid for TB na meron siyang numbness, tingling sensation or pins and needle sensation, ano ang gagawin mo? Will you document or report? Our answer must be to report immediately kasi hindi na ito harmless. It can lead na into nerve damage. Okay? So again, for isoniazid, watch out for peripheral neuropathy. Follow-up question, anong vitamin yung management and prevention ng peripheral neuropathy? Sagot, the answer must be vitamin B6 or pyridoxine. Dapat alam nyo din yung mga pangalan ng mga B vitamins. So, share ko kung paano ko minemorize, baka makatulong din sa inyo. Okay? Let us sing again. Okay, so B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B7, 9, and 12. Thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, pantotenic, pyridoxine, biotin, folate, and cobalamin. Yan. Ulit? Okay, so ito. B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B7, 9, and 12. Thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, pantotenic, pyridoxine, biotin, folate, and cobalamin. Okay, so ganun lang po. Kantahin nyo lang, solve agad. Okay? Next. How about sa pyrazinamide? Ano naman ang side effect? So dito, from the word itself, maalala ninyo kung ano ang side effect niya. So sabay-sabay nating basahin, pero turuan ko kayo kung paano basahin para hindi nyo makakalimutan. So ganito. Pyhyperurizinamide. Pyhyperurizinamide. Again, pyhyperurizinamide. So ganyan. Ano yung side effect? Hyperuricemia. And pyhyperurizinamide, this is the most hepatotoxic TB drug. Okay? For pyrazinamide, hyperuricemia. And kung basahin mo, pyhyperuricinamide para hindi mo makalimutan. And this is the most hepatotoxic TB drug. Next. Next naman is yung sa ethambutol. Ano naman ang side effect? Tandaan nyo lang yung E for ethambutol. Tandaan nyo, sorry. E for eye. Okay? E for ethambutol, E for eye. So therefore, optic neuritis naman ang side effect. Okay? Lastly, kung meron pang streptomycin, kung meron pa ding streptomycin, tandaan lang yung S. Para siyang tenga. S for streptomycin, tandaan niyo para siyang tenga. S. So isipin nyo, the side effect is ear damage or ototoxicity. And it can also cause nephrotoxicity. Okay? Let's proceed naman sa typhoid. This is a very common communicable disease sa community, so idagdag na natin. Baka tanungin sa exam, what is the causative agent of typhoid? Sagot, salmonella. How about sa mode of transmission? Fecal-oral. Again, mode of transmission, fecal-oral. What is the gold standard to diagnose typhoid? Blood culture naman. And ito naman yung mga symptoms. Yung patient, magkaka-fever. Meron ding headache. Abdominal pain. Yes, especially. Sabay na din yung weakness. And lastly, huwag niyong kakalimutan yung pathognomonic, which is the rose spots abdomen. Pathognomonic, rose spots abdomen. Okay. Next, sample question. Okay, so, how is Oresol prepared? This is an easy question na kung hindi mo alam, wala tayong magagawa. So, paano ba? Sa 1 liter na tubig, dapat merong 1/2 teaspoon na salt at meron ding 6 teaspoon na sugar. Yun lang. Wala na tayong pag-uusapan dyan. Again, in 1 liter of water, yung ratio of mixture is 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 6 teaspoon of sugar. Huwag ninyong kakalimutan. Baka lumabas sa exam. This is an objective type of question that you need to memorize also. Again, gaya ng mga sinasabi ko sa mga nakaraang videos natin, hindi lahat ng questions ay situational. Hindi lahat ng questions ay situational. Marami ding objective type na dapat minememorize. Okay? Next. Let's go sa beans color coding. You will throw non-infectious dry waste in what bean color? Saan mo daw itatapon ang non-infectious dry waste? Sagot, black bean. Saan mo naman itatapon ang sharps like needles and blades? The answer must be red. Okay? How about for non-infectious wet waste? Non-infectious wet waste like yung mga tirang pagkain. Tinatapon yan sa green bean. Pag radioactive waste naman, tinatapon sa orange bean. Radioactive orange bean. Radioactive for orange bean. And for the chemicals or pharmaceuticals, yellow with black band naman. Okay? So, ayan. Kung nabilisan kayo, you can take a screenshot and i-review ninyo kasi lumalabas yan sa exam. Okay? Lumalabas yan. Next question. Confirmatory of leprosy. Sagot, skin slit smear or biopsy. Wala na tayong pag-usapan dyan. Ano na nga ulit ang causative agent ng leprosy? Alam na alam nyo yan, syempre. Leprosy is caused by bacteria called Mycobacterium leprae. Okay? So, Mycobacterium din yung TB, Mycobacterium din yung sa leprosy. What is the other name of leprosy? The other name of leprosy is Hansen's disease. Huwag niyo kakalimutan yan kasi baka ibahan ang pangalan sa board exam. Alam niyo naman, sa board exam, rewording or rephrasing is the name of the game. Okay? So, huwag niyo kakalimutan. Leprosy is also known as Hansen's disease. Next question, which of the following is isotonic solution? Sagot? It can be 0.9 sodium chloride, lactated Ranger solution, and 5% dextrose in water. Familiarize also your solutions kasi maaaring lumabas ang mga ganitong questions. Tanong, what is the effect of isotonic solution to the cell? Magsishrink ba ang cell or magsuswell? Our answer is none of the above. Why? We all know na walang osmosis or diffusion pag isotonic ang solution kaya walang mangyayari sa cell. The primary purpose of isotonic solution is to maintain or restore the body's fluid balance without causing the cell to shrink or swell. Wala siyang gagawin sa cell. Okay? Kasi yung solute concentration ng isotonic is pareho sa blood plasma. Okay, so ito na. What will happen to the cell pag binigyan mo ng hypotonic solution? What will happen to the cell pag binigyan mo ng hypotonic solution? Isipin nyo lang yung animal na hippo, as in hippopotamus. Mataba yung hippo, right? That is why pag binigyan mo ng hypotonic solution yung cell, the cell will swell or tataba. And kabaliktaran naman for the hypertonic solution will make the cell shrink. Umpes nga kunanda iti Ilocano. Ganun lang po. Next question. Breast cancer usually occurs at? Saan daw usually ang tinutubuan ng breast cancer? Ang sagot natin dito is kung saan ka din magi-start na magpalpate. And it is in the upper outer quadrant. Again, saan daw usually tumutubo ang breast cancer? Wag kakalimutan. Our answer here is upper outer quadrant. And saan ka firstly magpapalpate kung mag-assess ka? It is also from the upper outer quadrant. Okay? So in palpating, it must be done in circular motion. Guys, magbasa pa kayo sa oncology. Next. Which of the following is the early sign of testicular cancer? Let's see, alamin natin kung ano ba yung mga early signs. Number 1 dyan is painless lump, swelling or enlargement, dragging weight on the scrotal area. Meron ding change in firmness. Makakapa mo na lang na mas matigas yung isang testicle. Nurses, ang tandaan nyo lang pag early sign is basta localized pa lang siya. Again, pag early sign, localized symptoms pa lang siya. Pag early sign, localized symptoms pa lang siya. And pag yung symptoms is systemic or lumayo na yung symptoms from the testes, like for example is lymphadenopathy, ibig sabihin, late signs na yon kasi nag-metastasize na siya. I hope that is clear. Huwag niyong kakalimutan. Okay? Next question. Position for testicular exam. Ano daw ang position during testicular examination? The answer here, of course, is standing. Wala nang iba. Nurses, itong mga sinasabi ko, hindi lang basta-basta eme lang, ha? Hindi to eme lang. I am telling you to read again about oncology, especially breast cancer and testicular cancer, colon cancer, and endometrial cancer. Yan. Balikan nyo yan, please. Breast cancer, testicular cancer, colon cancer, and endometrial cancer. Okay, let's go to the next question. Where do you see swan neck? A, hand. B, neck. C, legs. D, lips. Where do you see swan neck? Our answer here is hand. Tingnan nyo na lang yung nasa picture para ma-appreciate ninyo. Tanong, anong type ng arthritis mo ito makikita? Yung swan neck. Anong arthritis mo siya makikita? Kung tinanong sa board exam, the answer is rheumatoid arthritis. Next, most common type of arthritis. Sagot? Osteoarthritis. This is caused by wear and tear. Okay? Ito ba yung kailangan mag-weight reduction yung patient para mabawasan ng stress sa joint? Yes or no? Yes. Okay? Next, it is an autoimmune type of arthritis. Sagot? Rheumatoid arthritis. How about the metabolic arthritis? Ang sagot naman natin dito is gouty arthritis. So dapat yung diet ng patient is naka-low purines. Iwasan ang organ meat, red meat, bawal din ang sardinas, bawal din ang alcohol, especially beer, and madami pang iba, pero these are the common food na mataas ang purines. Okay? So dito, i-health educate natin yung patient to increase water intake para ma-dilute ang uric acid and to help para ma-flush yung uric acid. Okay? Meron pala tayong dalawang common drugs for gout. We have allopurinol and colchicine. Huwag pagpalitin, okay? Allopurinol helps reduce uric acid, while colchicine is for the inflammation. Okay? Allopurinol helps reduce uric acid and colchicine is for the inflammation. Next question, where do you see Heberden's node? This is also a favorite question and the answer here is distal interphalangeal joint. How about kung tinanong kung saan mo din makikita ang Bouchard's node? Ang sagot naman natin is proximal interphalangeal joint. Okay? Para hindi mo pagpalitin, just Chopper, come here. So para hindi mo pagpalitin, just remember yung sequence of the alphabet. Mas nauuna yung B sa Bouchard's node kaysa sa H ng Heberden's node. Kung nauuna yung B, it means proximal siya. And distal naman yung H kasi nahuhuli siya. Ganun lang nurses para hindi magkapalit. I hope it is clear. Next question. What is the correct administration of biphosphonate? First thing, ito yung drugs for osteoporosis that slows down the activity of osteoclast or yung tinatawag natin na bone breakdown. So, paano? So, kailangan i-take yung medication on an empty stomach first thing in the morning and dapat with full glass of plain water while remaining in an upright position. Again, empty stomach daw to increase the absorption and dapat i-take with full glass of water para mabilis ang pagbaba sa stomach and ma-wash out lahat ng gamot sa lalamunan. Okay? And also, you should remain upright after taking the medication for at least 30 minutes para hindi bumalik ang gamot sa lalamunan. Sir, ano ba kasing meron sa gamot? Okay, so biphosphonate po kasi is very irritating sa lalamunan. Again, very irritating siya sa lalamunan and can cause bleeding to the esophagus. Do not forget that. Okay? I hope it is clear. What is the difference naman ng osteoclast and osteoblast? Pag sinabi natin osteoclast, it is the bone breakdown. Okay? Pag osteoblast naman, it is the bone formation. Gets? Next. Okay, so sa atrioventricular graft naman tayo. Tanong, saan usually ginagawa ang AV graft? So kung na-try nyo nang nag-duty sa dialysis center, you can answer this one. Okay? So ano ba kasi ang AV graft? AV graft is designed to provide reliable long-term access to the bloodstream for hemodialysis in the patients with kidney failure. So again, saan daw commonly ginagawa ang atrioventricular graft? Our answer here is sa forearm. Next. Another topic na common concept is about the types of fever. And ganito yung tanong. It is the fever that swings more than 1 degree Celsius above normal and never returns to normal baseline during the cycle. Nagsuswing daw yung temperature more than 1 degree Celsius above normal pero hindi bumabalik sa normal baseline. Our answer here is remittent. Okay? So, i-review natin. Ano ba yung mga different types of fevers? Fever. Meron tayong tinatawag na continuous or sustained. Meron ding remittent, intermittent, and lastly, relapsing. Paano ba yung continuous or sustained? Sustained means temperature na mataas and may fluctuation siya pero minimal lang, that is less than 1 degree Celsius over 24 hours. Okay? Sustained. Hindi siya bumababa. Okay? Meron man siyang fluctuation pero minimal lang and it is less than 1 degree Celsius over 24 hours. Yung remittent naman, ito na yung nasa question natin. The fever is palaging mataas, hindi bumabalik sa normal baseline, but the difference is the temperature swings or fluctuates more than 1 degree Celsius. Okay? Huwag tayong malilito between sustained and remittent. Next naman is intermittent. Intermittent naman is yung fever na nag-fluctuate above normal pero bumabalik siya sa normal baseline. Okay? Nag-fluctuate above normal pero bumabalik siya sa normal baseline. Yun lang. Okay. How about sa relapsing? Relapsing naman, ito yung may fever ng ilang araw and then followed by 1 or more days of completely normal temperature and then babalik na naman siya sa fever. Okay? Relapsing. Pabalik-balik. Tumaas, nawala, tumaas, nawala. Okay? Next. Depth of CPR. Gaano kalalim ang chest compression? According to American Heart Association, our answer here is 2 to 2.4 inches. Guys, kung wala man yung 2 to 2.4 inches sa choices sa exam niyo, hanapin niyo na lang yung pinakamalapit. Again, depth of adult CPR is 2 to 2.4 inches. Next, compression per minute naman for adult. Our answer must be 100 to 120. Don't forget that. Next, what is seen in benevolent authoritative leader? Ano daw ang meron sa benevolent authoritative leader? Our answer here is condescending trust. Ito yung mga klaseng leader na they trust their own judgment and they want the best for their team, and with that, nagiging condescending na sila or nagiging paternalistic na sila. Yung para bang father knows best attitude. For example, sabi niya, ginagawa ko ito because I care, so you should trust me. Or, sabi niya, ine-explain ko ito kasi alam kong hindi mo naiintindihan. Okay? Ganyan po ang benevolent authoritative leader. Meron silang condescending trust. I hope na-gets nyo. Alam kong medyo mahirap intindihin, pero just remember, for a benevolent authoritative leader, they have condescending trust. Do not forget this. Okay? Benevolent authoritative leader, meron silang condescending trust. Let's go to leadership style. Collaborative style where leaders involve team members in decision-making, encouraging input, creativity, and shared responsibility. Alam nyo na to. Our answer here is democratic. Next, it is defined by strict adherence to established rules, procedures, and formal hierarchy. Our answer here is bureaucratic. And next, ito yung meron siyang do as I say approach. Do as I say. Gawin mo yung sinasabi ko. Siyempre, authoritative. Next, hands-off management style where leaders provide minimal supervision, granting employees full autonomy to make decisions, set goals, and manage their own work. Ang sagot naman natin dyan is laissez-faire. Okay? Next. Okay, so 8 years old child is under what level according to Freud? So dito dapat memorize niya yung mga to, including the Erik Erikson and John Piaget cognitive theory. Kasi ako mismo na nag-take ang magsasabi na madaming lumabas sa growth and development promise. Madaming lumabas sa growth and development. Okay? Yung klase ng mga tanong is bibigyan kayo ng specific age of the child and pipiliin ninyo anong level siya naka-under. Parang yung ganitong tanong. Okay? Isa pang style nilang magtanong, bibigyan kayo ng specific na ginagawa ng bata and ika-classify niyo kung anong level na siya naka-under. Kaya I'm telling you, familiarize on the growth and development kasi madaming tanong dyan. Okay, so again, 8 years old child is under what level according to Freud's OA fallacy? Our answer here is latent. Ayan na sa baba. Tignan nyo. Okay, next. Average cycle of menstruation. Ewan ko na lang kung magkakamali pa kayo dito. Our answer here is 28 days. Okay? So, another follow-up question, pag tinanong kayo, yung patient daw meron siyang 32 days cycle. Kailan siya nag-ovulate? Again, yung patient daw, 32 days cycle siya, kailan siya nag-ovulate? So, ang gagawin nyo lang is 32 minus 14. Yun na yung sagot. Okay? 32 minus 14 equals 18. So, sa 18th day siya nag-ovulate. Ganun lang po. Okay. Let's go naman sa hormones during menstrual cycle and pregnancy. Pag tinanong sa board exam, it maintains the pregnancy or it relaxes the uterus, the answer should be progesterone. Ibig sabihin, pag bumaba yung progesterone level, magko-contract yung uterus leading to labor. Kaya siya sinasabing it maintains the pregnancy. Okay? Next, it thickens the endometrium and develops female sex characteristics. Sagot? Estrogen po. Siya po yung nagpapakapal sa endometrium and siya din po ang responsible kung bakit kayo nagkakasuso. Okay? Huwag niyo kakalimutan yan. Next, it is tested in the pregnancy test. Sasampalin ko kayo kung magkakamali pa kayo dito. Okay? Sagot, HCG. Human chorionic gonadotrophin. Next, it matures the follicles. Pag sinasabing it matures the follicles, the answer should be follicle stimulating hormone. FSH. Okay? So ayan, nag-mature na yung follicles pero mostly mag-isa na lang yung natitirang mature follicle and it will be called the Graafian follicle. So ang mangyayari is magra-rupture na yung Graafian and it will release the ovum. And that process will be called the ovulation. Pero ang tanong, Anong hormone ang nagra-rupture sa Graafian follicle to be released? The answer here is luteinizing hormone. It ruptures the Graafian follicle. The answer should be luteinizing hormone. Okay? Follow-up question. Anong cycle ng menstruation kung saan mababa lahat ng hormones? Sagot? Menstrual phase. Okay. Next, let's go to the types of pelvis. It is the most common and ideal. Sagot, gynecoid. It is the male-shaped, android. Oval shape, anthropoid. And flat transverse diameter naman is platypeloid. Okay. Next, tinanong, frequency in labor is defined as? Sagot, start of one contraction to the start of the next contraction. Huwag niyong kakalimutan yan. Pag duration naman is from the start of contraction to the end of the same contraction. Again, pag duration, it is from the start of a contraction to the end of the same contraction. Okay? How about sa interval? Sa interval naman, it is from the end of a contraction to the start of the next contraction. Alright. Alam niyo yan, pero review lang. Review lang natin. Next. The nurse is assessing the client who has edema. The client remains intended or treated at 2 mm. The nurse describes the degree of edema as? Our answer here is positive 1. Guys, you need also to know this. Our answer here is positive 1, okay? Pag 2 mm, ibig sabihin positive 1. Pag 4 mm, ibig sabihin positive 2. Pag 6 mm, positive 3. And pag 8 mm, ibig sabihin naman positive 4. Okay, madali lang siya, guys. Next question. What is the route of Ursa flora? Sagot? Our answer here is oral. Oral po ha, huwag nyong i-IV. Kasi magkakasepsis yung patient. Actually, meron na naging case na ganyan and nagkasepsis talaga yung bata. So again, route of Ursa flora is oral. Okay? Oral po. Next. What cluster of personality is paranoid? Again, what is the cluster of personality disorder is paranoid? Our answer here is cluster A. So nurses, tinatanong sa board exam yung mga ganito, so you must remember this 3 clusters. Sa cluster A, naka-under dyan yung paranoid, schizoid, and schizotypal. Yung cluster B naman, borderline, antisocial, narcissistic, and histrionic. Yung cluster C, dependent, avoidant, and OCD. Huwag niyong kakalimutan yan, okay? Madali lang siya. Memorize niyo lang. Next. Sa research, it is the lived experiences. Pag nakita nyo yung lived experiences, automatic, huwag na kayong maghanap. Basta nakita yung phenomenological, yun na yung sagot. Lived experiences, phenomenological. Okay? Okay, so next. So more on research pa. Sabi, it is a measurement that is performed directly in the subject. Anong sagot natin dyan? In vivo. Okay? Directly into the subject, in vivo. Next, measurement that is performed outside the subject. Sagot, in vitro. Okay? Halimbawa sa in vivo is itatake mo yung BP niya. Diba? Directly kukuha ka ng data. Okay? Or you will check the temperature. That is in vivo. Sa in vitro naman, example is sa laboratory. Diba? Kukuha ka ng dugo and then gagawin mo sa laboratory. It is outside the subject. Okay? Next. Next naman is, it measures what it is supposed to be measured. Sagot, validity. Halimbawa, kung gusto mong malaman ang weight ng subject, syempre, ang gagamitin mo is weighing scale. Okay? Hindi naman pwedeng measuring tape ang gagamitin mo. So, that is what we call validity. Next. It is the consistency or repeatability of result using the same tool under the same condition. Ang sagot naman natin dito is reliability. Kung nag-check ka ng BP sa subject 3 times and it gets the same result, pare-pareho lang yung nakuha mo kasi ganun talaga yung BP. Ibig sabihin, reliable yung BP app mo. Okay? That is what we call reliability. Lastly, it can detect fine differences. Fine differences. Ibig sabihin, sensitive yung patient, sensitive yung tawag nun, instrument mo. That is sensitivity. It can detect fine differences. Okay? Next question. So, sa inferential statistics, kailangan ninyong panoorin yung isang video ko dun sa research. Mabilisang recalls lang yun sa isang video natin. Ilalagay ko na lang sa comment section yung link para makita ninyo. Kailangan ninyong panoorin yun, guys. Okay? nandun na dun lahat about sa research na dapat ninyong malaman, including the inferential statistics. Okay? Kasi lumalabas talaga yun sa exam. Okay, so now, hanggang dito muna tayo, and I hope na meron kayong natutunan, and I will try my best to create a video purely sa NP5 kasi medyo konti lang yung na-include natin dito, guys. So guys, thank you for watching, and good luck sa exam ninyo.